Hi everybody, welcome to this day in history. We are live talking about what's going on February 2nd. Besides, people are about ready to have a fantastically awesome Groundhog lunch, as some people are a little pissy because he saw his shadow. Today is, of course, Groundhog Day. It's February 2nd, the 33rd day on the calendar. 332 more of these things, and then we're going to call 2019 our great friend. However, we got lots of really cool stuff happening this year. So, including, I'm going to be running a 5K. Pretty awesome. Or a half marathon, 5K, 10K, so many Ks. I have more Ks than Nolan Ryan was throwing in baseball. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go to our history right now and talk about King Louis III. He was defeated by the Norse Great Heathen Army in Saxony in 880. Then in 962, Pope John XII. They were already on 12 Johns by the time 1262 came around. I think the last John was like John the 26th or something like that. Crazy. But John XII crowned Otto I, the Holy Roman Emperor, as the first Holy Roman Emperor in nearly 40 years. In 1032, Conrad II, Holy Roman Emperor, becomes King of Burgundy. In 1141, the Battle of Lincoln, in which Stephen, King of England, is defeated and captured by the allies of Empress Matilda. Alright, and then we have the War of the Roses. The Battle of Mortimer's Cross is fought in England, 1461. In 1536, Pedro Mendoza founds Buenos Aires, Argentina. In 1653, New Amsterdam is incorporated. In 1709, Alexander Selkirk is rescued after being shipwrecked on a desert island, inspiring Daniel Defoe's adventure book, Robinson Crusoe. In 1850, Brigham Young declares war on the Timagos in the Battle of Fort Utah. That'll be something very interesting to read about. Brigham Young, of course, Mormon leader. They moved to Utah from Illinois. And Joseph Smith, who founded the Mormons, actually died in Illinois. Then they moved to Utah with Brigham Young. Just a little insight there. In 1876, the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs of Major League Baseball is formed. In 1887, in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the first Groundhog Day is observed. Now, from what I heard, the reason why Groundhog Day was a thing is because there were a ton of groundhogs, and they would catch them right around this time when they would come out in kind of the middle of hibernation. So the idea was, in the middle of hibernation, the groundhog would come out, then he'd get caught and ate and all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But it would happen right around this time to where they thought he would come out and see if winter's done yet. So that was the reason for Groundhog Day. In 1899, the Australian Premiers Conference, held in Melbourne, decides to locate the capital city, Canberra, between Sydney and Melbourne. 1901 was the funeral for Queen Victoria. 1913, Grand Central Terminal is opened in New York City. In 1920, France occupies Memel. In 1922, Ulysses from James Joyce is published. 1925, the Serum Run to Nome. Dog sleds reach Nome, Alaska with a serum for diseases aspiring the Iditarod race. In 1934, the Export-Import Bank from the United States is incorporated. In 1935, Keeler administers polygraph tests to two murder suspects, the first time polygraph evidence is used in court. In 1943, World War II. The Battle of Stalingrad comes to an end while Soviet troops accept the surrender of the last German troops in the city. In 1966, Pakistan suggests a 6-point agenda with Kashmir as the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965. 1971, Ada Amin replaces the President Milton Obote as leader of Uganda. In 1980, reports surface that the FBI is targeting corrupt congressmen in the Abscam operation. The Abscam. That sounds like something that would be a scam for getting six packs. All right, gotta come up with some jokes here, folks. Gotta hype up the show a little bit. 1987, after the 1986 People Powers Revolution, the Philippines enacts a new constitution. 1990, F.W. de Klerk announces the unbanning of the African National Congress and promises to release Nelson Mandela, who ends up being president of South Africa. In 2000, the first digital camera projection in Europe is realized by Philippe Ebont with a DLP cinema technology developed by Texas Instruments. 2004, Roger Federer becomes the number one ranked player in tennis, a position he will hold for a record 237 weeks. Damn. Alright, in 2005, the Government of Canada introduces the Civil Marriage Act. This act would become law in July 20th, in 2005, legalizing same-sex marriage. In 2012, the ferry About Queen sinks off the coast of Papua New Guinea with an estimated 146 to 165 people dead. Alright, we always got to end it on a sad note, folks, which is why we talk about births and deaths and all the holidays going on here. So we talk about Emperor Justin from 450. He was born this day in history. Pope Benedict the 13th was born this day in history. I always got to find the really good ones here, folks. Leo Fall was born this day in history. Now we are getting to the 1915 era, so we might be able to find the oldest person still with us here today. And we have a winner, and it is Du Moy. And I'm probably slaughtering that name. But it is a Vietnamese politician, the 5th Prime Minister of Vietnam, born 1917, so celebrating his 101st birthday. So happy birthday to you. Alright, as we go further down the list, we see Liz Smith was born this day in history. Lane Stritch, born on this day. Robert Mandan, who, if I remember correctly, and I do, is from the show Soap. Played Chester Tate on that show. Happy birthday to Robert Mandan, who is the man. I mean, he was cool as hell. If you guys ever get to see the show Soap and Chester Tate, probably one of the best character actors that there was out there. Tom Smothers, happy birthday to Tom. Happy birthday to Graham Nash from the group Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Amazing. I got some of his music on my computer and on my phone. Happy birthday to Tenryu, Japanese wrestler, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Christy Brinkley, happy birthday to Christy Brinkley. I see that it is her birthday today. It is also Shakira's birthday today, and believe me, folks, those hips don't lie. She's only 3 years older than I am, so that's kind of a trip. Alright, and as we go further down the list to find the younger and younger people, I do want to wish a very happy birthday to Harrison Smith. As the Super Bowl's coming, and he's playing some football, so there you go. Alright, then we go to deaths. Lawrence of Canterbury died this day in history, 619. Eric the 11th of Sweden died this day in 1250. And it looks like Pope Clement the 13th died this day in 1769. A lot of groundhogs died this day in history, just altogether. Sid Vicious, amazing artist, singer, and he died this day in history in 1979. Boris Karloff died 10 years earlier in 1969. Unfortunately, before I was born, I did not get to see either one of those folks. And Philip Seymour Hoffman died this day in history, 2014. He is very well missed, as everyone is. And Max Schmeling died this day in history, 2005. So he was 100 years old when he passed away. Alright, folks, by the way, just so you know, it is Bun Day in Iceland. That's an important day. It's Constitution Day in the Philippines. Inventor Day in Thailand. World Wetlands Day internationally. It is a day of military honor, victory of the Battle of Stalingrad in Russia. And, folks, it is Groundhog Day. So we'll have to be back tomorrow to talk about the same damn thing because it's Groundhog Day, folks. Rise and shine. And have yourself a great day here on the ScottShow.com.